What's the first question you're going to ask them on Monday?
The players. How do we take the 50-50s out of rugby league? Because we just don't seem to get the 50-50s to go our way. That's one thing that we've identified in some of the trials, and certainly in today's game. So it's just a matter of just going through. They understand where they went wrong, individually and collectively. I think again, momentum is a word used in sport, and I think it doesn't deserve the credence that momentum can give a team. For 34 and a half minutes, we had to weather a storm. It was a perfect storm too. And to be quite honest and fair to Paul Cook and the Doncaster side, they were absolutely sensational in that second half. But on the other side, defensively, they had enough ball to win 2 games of football. So fair credit goes to our players, and some of the tries they scored were off bounces and off knockbacks and balls going the opposite way to our players. So whilst they had a bit of luck with their tries, I'm really proud of the defensive effort. Given they scored 22 points in that second half, it could have been much uglier.
Were you disappointed with the way the lack of ball retention in the second half?
Yeah, definitely, and the players are too. You don't train that way. We certainly don't. We understand what we need to do, particularly coming out of our end. And I think what happened is that rather than trying to win the game, we tried to close the game, and it was too far to close the game. We didn't need to close the game. We need to continue to play the style of play that we played in the first 25-30 minutes of the first half, and we went away from that structurally. And until we learn to stick to those patterns and we allow teams to regain a little bit of momentum, we're going to make it difficult for us. And I do rate Doncaster. I thought the 4 players they dropped back from Hull FC were outstanding, and Paliasina and Jordan Rankin really came to the fore in the second half.
Having got to the 20 points to 0 lead, you seem to ease off. Did some of the players think the game was won already? Or?
No, I say no because last year I would have said yes, because we went through that so many times. But this year we've got such an experienced group of players from all different parts of the world that are used to playing pressured football week in and week out. So I wouldn't suggest they put the cue in the rack, as it were, or thought the game was won. I think that a few things went the way of Doncaster, and just their belief and momentum. The back half of the back 7 or 8 minutes in the first half, we withstood 6 defensive on-try, online defence. So the way they finished the first half was exactly how they started the second half. And we compounded with errors and penalties and just poor discipline. But no, I don't think they thought the game was won. And in fact, they were talking about, let's continue on at half-time. I've quoted with a number of different media agencies or outlets that if we think we're going to get it right round 1, I'd be very naive. 17 new players to our squad. It's going to take 5 or 6 rounds. But in saying that, they weren't collective errors. They were drop balls. They were knock-ons, things like that. I don't think have too much to do with continuity as far as the systems. It's more individual, skill-based. We still got a lot of things to work on as far as our systems are concerned, but certainly we identified in that second half our completion rate was less than 45%. So the fact that we still walk away with 2 points, completing less than 45, suggests we done a lot of things right, but a lot of things wrong.
You pointed out loads of new players. Any highlights for you?
Thought Rhys Williams was very, very good every time he got the ball. He turned the defence inside out. He would have carried 100, 150 plus metres today. I thought he was very, very good. I know you say new players, but certainly our players played from last year. Nick Sliney was best on park today, in my view. The minutes he played, the metres he carried, the defence, just goes from strength to strength, and just a great person and a great person to lead our club. But Rhys Williams would be the pick of the bunch, and Wes Nagama, he had limited touches. He wouldn't have missed any tackles, and every time he got the ball, he looked threatening. So those two stand out.
What happened with Nick Sliney's replacement? He came off after about 25 minutes, and about 40 seconds later he was coming on for Josh Cordova.
Yeah, it was actually 6 minutes 50 seconds when he came back on. Reason is that for this style of football and the teams that we're playing, it was very difficult for me to have John Wallace and Toby Everett on at the same time. So I had to systematically work out what's best for the team. So I wanted to have an experience with an enthusiastic person and vice versa. So it's more for their development as well, but more so what's best for the team. So I just wanted to have Nick Sliney on with a young pup and Josh Cordova on with a young pup. So that was a reason. 6.5 minute breath. That's all he needs, Nick.
Much less than that.
Yeah, probably was, but yeah.
But, okay, no, I just wondered if Josh had picked up a knock or something that caused him to be taken off so soon.
No, not at all, no.